Good evening from BBC London News. I'm Chris Rogers. A memorial service has taken place to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Bethnal Green Tube disaster. 173 people, including 62 children, were crushed to death. Panic had spread through crowds who'd heard an air raid siren and anti-aircraft fire. It turned out to be a test. Matthew Morris reports.
As we entered the shelter, I remember tripping over something, but my sister grabbed me. Eventually we were pulled out. My 16-year-old sister had to walk into a room full of dead bodies looking for Mum.
Her mum was later found alive, but the memories of what happened that day remain.
173 people got killed. I can remember falling over something, I don't know what it was, and my sister, being a good older sister, pulled me out. But I remember the next morning calling my mum, saying, "Mum, look at this," and she was like it, and so was my sister. We were bruised from our shoulders right down.
It was the worst civilian disaster of the Second World War. There was a crush after people heard an air raid siren, which turned out to be a test. To mark the anniversary, the University of East London will now interview survivors and witnesses and work with schools to make sure the tragedy is not forgotten.
This disaster was bigger than Hillsborough. It was bigger than Aberfan, which is probably two of the most famous civilian disasters in terms of the death toll here. And it's a story which is well known, in this community, but is perhaps not really very well known nationally.
This is called the Stairway to Heaven Memorial. It can't be finished due to a lack of funds.
We've still got another £117,000 that we need, and I'd love to see it finished before I wander off.
Such a long time of memory, of loss.
This afternoon, a memorial service was held in the church beside the tube station. Sadness over the lives lost, but pride they will always be remembered here in Bethnal Green. Matthew Morris, BBC London News.